Hello, boils and ghouls, and everyone creepy in between. This is the second episode of Average Ghost Mom Podcast. Good morning, everyone. I am recording early in the morning because I have so much coming up, all in realistically, it's in all within 2 weeks, but it feels like it's all within 5 days. I have my in-laws coming in tonight. They have some business they need to take care of in the area tomorrow, but they'll be here with us tomorrow as well. And then the day after that, um, they're gonna be there for the whole day, and they're inviting aunt and uncle and I think 4 to 6 cousins over to our house. So we're gonna do lunch and we're all just, gonna kind of see each other, spend time with each other, but they're gonna help my boyfriend kind of get some medium-sized projects done. Like projects that are capable to be done by one person, but definitely easier done with multiple people and a ladder, let's just say. Uh, and then after that, I've got a day of doctor's appointments for Ava and I, and then I only have 4 or 5 days to mass clean my house, like spot clean my house. Well, not spot clean. No, I don't have to deep clean because it's my parents. My parents are coming in for a whole week after that. So I don't have to deep clean for my parents, but at the same time, this is what I told my sister. I said, I just need to actually just regular clean. I just need to actually do it though, because I've been putting it off, getting weird little miscellaneous projects done and then not doing the actual house cleaning. So, but things have been staying picked up. It's really just, golly, the amount of dog hair that I have in my house because Freya, she is a Catahoula leopard dog pit mix. And so she's a long-haired dog. Well, she's considered a long-haired dog. It's not like a long-haired dog, but it's not a short-haired dog either. So they're considered a long-haired dog. And I think she has I can't quite tell if she has a double coat. I think she might have a double coat because of how much she sheds. Um, but she sheds horribly. And then crazy enough, my pointer mix, I don't quite know what she's mixed with. The shelter thinks she has like pointer pit mix, and I don't know. I don't really see the pit, but every time I'm around someone long enough with her and they go, "Oh, what is she?" And I said, "Oh, well, the shelter thinks that she's a pointer pit mix." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, I see the pit." And I'm like, "Really?" I don't. And maybe I'm just not around pits enough. I mean, really at all. But maybe I'm just not around pits enough to really take in certain physical qualities and aspects of them. I mean, because my best friend, she has inbred um American bullies. So they're not pit bulls, but they do have the pit bull in them to help make them bullies. And so I can see in them some of the qualities of a pit bull, but I don't know. I don't see it in Tink. But anyway, she's a short hair dog, but she sheds just as bad as Freya. And oh my gosh. So if I don't at least minimum vacuum once a day, if you take a step, if you're looking at the right place at the right time when the sun's going through the window, when you step down on the floor, like a plume of dog hair kind of just radiates from the floor. And it's bad. You'll be finding dog hair in places where dog hair should not be, like drinks, food in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So I just it's been a couple weeks because also, okay. So honestly, I can't remember if I said it in the trailer episode or not. But I have uh psoriasis. I have plaque psoriasis. And finally, at the end of last year, after taking like 8 or 9 months with my dermatologist, for my dermatologist to get paperwork signed, done, actually faxed in, following up for 9 months, well, 8 months. Finally got, I'm on the injection pen Skyrizi, um, and it's helping me a lot. It has me, after the first 2 doses, it has me virtually completely cleared up. So, it covered about 90% of my scalp and then huge palm-sized patches all over like my chest, my stomach, my back. Um, I even had it all the way down from like the top of my butt crack going all the way down and up front in my like downstairs carriage region. It was literally, it was everywhere. And it sucked. It sucked. But this guy Rizzy has me basically all cleared up. But I could really feel my body like start to come off of it the last couple weeks because that's just like when the dose was ending. And I just took my third dose last night. So like I know like at least this first week my body's gonna be so exhausted because it just like weaned off of the medicine, so the chronic illness that it is, kind of like is starting to like, oh, you don't have medicine anymore. Oh, let's have some fun. Let's crash this body. 'Cause like I could tell some of my some of my symptoms were starting to come back. One of my symptoms, which is it's such a weird thing, but like the tips of my fingers will start to peel as if like maybe like you were using chemicals and really scrubbing and cleaning something. And so then like the chemicals started to like peel away your skin. That when I first was experiencing the fingertip peeling, that it, like that's literally like what me and my parents thought was like, well, was I cleaning anything? And I'm like, at the time I was in a different situation, different house, different spouse. And I was like, nothing with chemicals that would do this. I mean, Lord. I mean, at most, I'm just cleaning the toilet, and that's just regular. I'm not scrubbing anything with my fingertips. B, I mean, at most, it's like just Clorox spray on the actual, like, toilet seat and toilet rim, but not anything, like, crazy, crazy. So, also, sorry guys, I think I might, I think the pollen is starting to get to me because, it's March, things are blooming and stuff, and my nose has just been just, ugh, absolutely. It's not clogged, it's just runny, and it's really annoying actually. So, if that's why I kind of sound clogged up and why I'm sniffling, it's because I'm pretty sure it's just the pollen. And then like I said, I'm recording early in the morning, so I have kind of a sleepy voice going on. But anyways, so I took my third dose last night, and so I know that like my body is going to be like super sluggish, super out of energy this next coming week because the medicine has to start working again. So, ugh, I'm not I don't want it, but I know I know that's just how it's going to be. If I want to stay cleared up and not itching all the time, not having flakes everywhere, not ugh, it's just, yeah. So, anyway, let's get on with ourselves. So, for this episode, I am gonna kind of gear it towards like the spiritual, witchy side. Um, Normally I would have this episode like at the beginning of the month, but since I didn't record until like the second week, and then this is coming out, I think like the third week of the month, um, we're gonna take care of our monthlies this episode. So, for today, the monthlies, we have the crystals of the month of March. Um, Crystals of the month of March, we have bloodstone, which is great for emotional calming and centering. It's great for revitalizing love and relationships. It helps bring spirituality into everyday life. It stimulates dreaming and it's good for grounding and protection. Next we have aquamarine. This encourages tolerance and responsibility. This boosts courage and heightens intuition. This helps let go of emotional issues. This achieves closure. This helps with purifying the body. It's excellent for meditation. It aids in communication. Oh my gosh, oh no, this is bad. When I was typing my notes, I didn't realize. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. It aids in communication and it's great for sensitive people. So first of all, aquamarine. Like if you're like, I know some people who could use some aquamarine. Um, which is funny that it encourages tolerance, but it helps let go of emotional issues and achieves closure. That kind of sounds like, what is it, an oxymoron? Because usually people with emotional issues, I don't know, when I think of it, I think of people who are stuck in like toxic relationships and they have these feelings of like, ugh, like I hate it here, I hate it here, I hate it here, but like I just can't let go of them. Or like, oh, my boyfriend or significant other is such like a horrible guy, but like every time like I try to leave, he reels me back in, you know, and like, oh, I just can't let go of him. But then it's like encourages tolerance. So it's like, oh, I need to tolerate this person though. I need to stay with him and tolerate him, you know? I don't know. That's just what comes to mind this morning when I see this or hear this, whatever, as I read it. But aids communication, when I was typing, I didn't even realize this. When I was typing my notes, like it's just the sentence just says aids communication, and my notes app capitalized the whole word of AIDS like it's the disease. Oh, that's not good. That's funny. I think it's funny. Dark humor, maybe. I do have dark humor. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry if that comes out in the podcast. I do have dark humor. So, if you don't like dark humor, I probably won't let it get too dark. But I just think it's funny that my notes app was like, oh, AIDS? Clearly you're talking about the disease and not that it helps with communication. Anyway, next stone is an opal or the opal. It provides emotional and mental balance. It helps communication in other realms. It aids in connecting with spirit and animal guides. And it boosts spiritual development. It brings stability. I need to get myself an opal. There was one time when I was starting my spiritual journey, I was trying to contact my spirit guides because, like, I know my grandma shows up as a cardinal, whoop-de-doo, and my grandpa shows up as a dragonfly. Um, and there was one time, like, I was just trying to, like, really get within myself, and I had already reached out and connected with my grandma and my grandpa, whomst were not the same side. My grandma's from my dad's side and my grandpa's from my mom's side. Um but I was trying to connect with my spirit guides, and I remember laying on the trampoline and two images just kind of came to me. And one of them was like this really old, like Japanese guy, like super duper old, super wrinkly, super long. Oh, he looked like the emperor from the Disney movie Mulan. That's who he looked like. But instead of in like his, I think he wears like gold and black. He was in like white and green and like a lot of green. And I'm talking like a clover green or like a St. Patrick's green, like a very vibrant green. Um and then my other spirit guide that kind of came to me was kind of in like a Steven Universe style animation. Um she was in like purples and kind of like some lighter purples and some darker purples and some vibrant purples. She was very purpley, but she had like long legs, long arms, shorter torso, kind of rounder, biggish head, and like I don't want to say moppy hair because it was in a hat, but it was kind of like a large animated style like reggae hair. So it's not moppy, but it's kind of like dreads. But I don't know if I'd call this dreads just because of how it was. But those were like the two things that came to mind, and I can't let it go. I can't. Um, I'll have to reach out to them again. Because I remember at the time when I had started all of this, it was like trying to like get things figured out and settled. I was trying to figure out their names. I couldn't ever get that far, but I know what they look like. I need to reach back out to them again, for real. I might do that tonight because tonight is the full moon for March. Uh, Let me finish before I tree branch off on that. The last crystal for March is the amethyst. It's known as the all healer. It stimulates creativity. It helps with battling addiction. It's excellent for meditation and spirituality, and it enhances psychic abilities. Also, I did not realize that my alarms would still be going off on my laptop as I'm recording because I'm getting notifications on my phone, but they're not actually making noise. Here, let me try this. Let me see. That should help. I'm pretty sure that should help. Okay, sorry guys. Anyway, so those are the crystals. We have the bloodstone, aquamarine, opal, and amethyst. I know that aquamarine is also a good crystal to have up in Ostara, which is the pagan holiday that is happening this month. It happens at the what is it, the spring equinox, I'm pretty sure. Uh I certain things, it's like I don't know. I'll hold on. I have too many thoughts going at once. I need to calm down. My brain needs to calm down for real. So let's shift over to the moon phases for the month real fast. It was a nice setup this month. The last new moon was February 27th. The new moon, no, excuse me. Oh my gosh. The new moon was February 27th. The full moon is tonight, which is March 14. And then the next new moon is March 29th. So it is a very nice, like, basically at the beginning of the month is a new moon, the middle of the month is the full moon, and the end of the month is the next new moon. Um, the moon phases matter because it kind of gives you, if you're not good with time management, in my opinion, how I use it to benefit myself is I use it for projects and goals and things. So if I have like a bigger project, like starting this podcast, and I'm just unable to put like a time on it, like a realistic time frame on it, I'll use the moon phase because you always start at the new moon. If you're starting something new, you start at the new moon. It's a new cycle, and by the full moon is when you should have it done, and that's about 2 weeks. So you have 2 weeks to get your orders in a fair for said project and to get it done. And there you go. And if not by depending on the project, if not by the full moon, then by the next new moon. So there, then you have a month. It depends on how big the project is. This, I was kind of also waiting for my credit card to reset, certain money orders to be in, certain money affairs to be in order. So, because I had to get a couple things. So that happened after like the first week. But basically after that, I was ready to go. Like I just had to buy a couple things for the podcast and then I was good to go. So I was able to post in the middle of last week the trailer episode, and then I'm recording today, but this won't come out until Sunday. So but it's basically like coming full circle, how it's supposed to be, how I had planned it to be, and it worked out, and it was great, and it's awesome, and it's very exciting because I'm able to work on my craft whilst working on my hobbies to in conjunction with each other, basically. It's really nice. Um, so now for the rest of this phase, like kind of like what you're supposed to do is like you start a new project on the new moon, you finish it on the full moon, and then you're supposed to like be thankful and reflect and theoretically clean up on your way back to the next new moon to like and get ready for like your next project. So, one of the things that I try to do um in working with the moon phases is okay, so I don't have New Year's resolutions. Like, I don't do that. Like, they're stupid. You said it, you're gonna do it for 2 weeks, and then you're gonna give up. Like, whatever. So, what I've done instead is, um, at the new moon at the top of the calendar year, so it might be the end of December, it might be the beginning of January, depending on how it falls. That is when I make either 6 or 12 goals um, of ways how I want to work on myself, make myself a better person, things to benefit me. Um, I say 6 or 12 because it kind of depends, like, or maybe I might do a combination of the 6 and 12. Here, just hold on, just hold on. And I work in with the moon cycles. I work in with the months. So like the first month, we're gonna work on this. The first cycle, we're gonna work on this. The second month or the second cycle, we're going to work on that. So I kind of give myself 30 days minimum to work on stuff. But some things require like 2 months. Like I need 60 days of constant doing this thing so I can really like engrave it into myself that this is going to be a quality or a personality thing, or it's going to be a part of me. It's going to be a trait that I possess, or it's going to be something physically that I do, an action that I do, because like cleaning, making a cleaning routine for someone who wants routine, but it's hard to make routine if it's not just natural. So a cleaning routine is not just natural. It's certain things like I've been able to do for myself is like in the mornings I wake up, um, after I get Ava ready and taken to school, when I come back, first thing I do is I let the dogs outside, put food in the bowls, and then I unload the dishwasher. Because every night while I cook dinner, I put my dirty dishes that I use and I'm not going to need anymore into the dishwasher. So then, by the time I'm done cooking, I have very minimal dishes from the cooking part to actually do, and I only have what we used to actually eat the food to put in the dishwasher. So then, at the end of the night, run the dishwasher, wake up the next morning, unload the dishwasher. And then throughout the day, so like my morning cups, um, when I get done with them, put them in the dishwasher. Don't put them in the sink. Rinse them out, put them in the dishwasher. My lunch dishes, when I get done with eating lunch or any snacks, rinse them off, put them in the dishwasher, you know? So then by the time I go to cook lunch, or excuse me, go to cook dinner, my sink is empty, everything is clean. So then it's so much easier for me. Oh, when I get done cooking with this pan, I can rinse it off and put it in the dishwasher. And I don't have to set it aside, because things are piling on top of each other. Like that's something that's a habit I have been able to kind of more naturally do because oh, I see the time, I should take advantage of the time. But there's other cleaning habits and other like personal care habits that I would like to like instill with myself that will be coming up in the months. I need to look at that. I need to look and see what my goals are for this year because I know I have six. I did six goals this year. Um, Mostly because this is really the first year I can like sit down and actually like do this and concentrate and focus on this. Um, like it's literally just my situation has just drastically changed for myself. Um, There'll probably be an episode that maybe I talk about it, but right now I don't really want to talk about it. But probably bits and pieces might come up later. You'll probably catch on the more that I talk and the more that you listen. So, moon phases. Like I said, the last new moon was February 27. Today, March 14, is the full moon, and then the next new moon is March 29th. So, it is a great day. It is a great day to achieve your achievements, to get your accomplishments. It's a great day to just kind of like look around and just kind of be like, wow, look at everything that I've done and achieved. Even like taking the small achievements too, like, oh wow, look, I got the laundry done today. Go me. Like, if you don't celebrate everything that you can, you're gonna look back and think like, wow, my life was crap, you know? Like you need to be forgiving and celebratory to yourself. Okay. So, switching off from the spiritual part of things, it is March still. So, in the regular world, we have St. Patrick's. Which I know it's not just a holiday about drinking, but really I don't actually know what the holiday's about. So I should probably do a little bit of research into that just to kind of become a little bit more knowledgeable and not as much of a booty head about not knowing what St. Patrick's is actually about. But I need to figure out what I'm going to do with Ava for St. Patrick's. Because I know one of my goals for this year was once a month, preferably around like the holiday of that month, at least especially the months that have holidays. Excuse me. Um, to send out like to have quote unquote Ava send out a card with pictures to important family members and important friends. Um, like for Valentine's Day, it was kind of easy because I just took like three pictures of her. One picture was her pointing to her eye. Another picture was her making a heart. And the other picture was a picture of her like pointing towards the camera, but to be like to point at the person receiving the card. And so like the pictures lined up correctly say I heart you. And it was, kind of just like a way where I can send out kind of like an updated picture of Ava, and it lets family and friends know like I I'm not good at communicating outwards at all, but I still value you and I know that you're here and I still want you to like be a part of my life and Ava's life, you know? So for St. Patrick's, I'm going to do that. I have this green shirt that I can take a couple pictures in, but like I got to figure out like, okay, what are we doing? What am I doing? I really don't know. Do I cut out all of these clovers and try and do something with it? Also, on the actual date of St. Patrick's is when we have our doctor's appointments. So I'm like, we're not, I don't know. Because then it kind of gets tricky too. Like, it's going to be a little hard. It potentially could be hard to go out to places and like to get lunch because they might want to put like food dye in. And that's one of the things that like I'm cutting out is food dye, artificial food dye. I see a difference with Ava. I do. Um, there was one time, oh, for Valentine's Day, I got my boyfriend a cookie cake and it had red and pink frosting on it. And not even thinking because like we're still kind of new to this. Ava was like, "Oh, can I have a slice?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure." And we gave her a piece, and she had like two bites in. And I just kind of look over her face, and I see all this red and pink frosting around her mouth, and I was like, "Oh, crap!" Within 15 minutes, guys, I'm not even kidding. This was like at 8 o'clock at night because we had kind of like a later dinner that day, um, and she always gets like a treat if she finishes her food. So we that's what we do. That's what we do in our house. If that's not what you do in your house, okay, cool, great. If you don't think that's a great idea, okay, cool, great. Awesome. Awesome. That's what we do in our house. So, but guys, within 15 minutes, she was bouncing off the wall. Oh my gosh, look at this. Mom, Josh, look at that. Holy cow. Can I play? Can we do this? Look at this. Look at me. Look over here. Look what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Look, and the dog and the dog and the dog and the cat and the cat and the cat. And I'm just like, oh no, this was a bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. I have got to pay better attention. She was just crazy. And I get it. She is still a 5-year-old at heart. Like, I'm not discrediting that. Oh, some of this is just because she's an older toddler. Yeah, no, I know. But she's not ever usually that crazy bouncing off the walls. She gets crazy and she can be bouncy, but she's not usually that bouncy, you know? So, uh, lunch on St. Patrick's Day will be interesting. Um, If you have any ideas though, um, around like the Huntsville area of actually, if you know of anything that's going around, or what the heck, if you know of anything that's going on around the Huntsville area for St. Patrick's, let me know. Write in. You can email me at averageghostmom@gmail. Also, if you guys have any fun stories or any memories or any traditions that you guys used to do on St. Patrick's, because I've not really been able to do much with Ava for St. Patrick's. I've usually, just been so busy and working, and it's such like a minor holiday, but like I really want to do fun things with her, especially now that she's like 5 and she's getting older. She'll like actually remember these things. And she can do arts and crafts with me because like she can actually work scissors now. And so I want to do things. So write in, tell me what kind of traditions, what kind of crafts, if you have any really good like kindergarten, 5-year-old aged crafts, Send those in to me because it's only getting better from here, you know. Um, Also, I know that leprechauns are seen in like a couple different ways. So I wonder if there's any like spooky leprechaun stories that are out there. Or maybe like gnome stories or like fae stories if anyone has any crazy stories with like the fae. I bet that'd be fun too. So if you have anything, write in, send it to me. Again, the email is averageghostmom@gmail. Make the first word of your subject line listener, so that way I can just like search the word listener through all the emails and get them pulled up. If you have any like fun food or natural fun food with natural ways to die, send in those recipes too, because that'd be really fun to make with her, to make different foods and stuff that are green, but not artificial dye. Guys, I'm sorry. That just puts a damper on things. My bad. Um, but I gotta write down the different things that you boil in water and the colors that they make, because I think green is one of the harder ones. I know that there's also some companies, who is it? Like Wickles or Walkers or something. Walkmans? No, no, not Walkman. There's a company that makes natural dye. Um, Aldi sells it. I could be wrong. I don't remember, but I know. Oh, just use that. Use that. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know. I could. But I also need these natural boiled dyes for next month for Easter. So send them in anyways, you know? Send it in anyways, you know? I'd love to see like what you guys did growing up because I we didn't really do anything like this when I was growing up just cuz things were different for me than they were for most people growing up, which that's also another story for another episode. That's coming up soon though. I have a plan, so you'll kind of get to hear about my childhood in the next couple episodes. But I don't know. I really want, especially now that things are different for Ava, I really want to make sure that like I give her my time and my energy and my presence and my attention. Um, so doing things like for these small holidays are becoming more and more important to me as a mom. So send those in though. I am really intrigued and excited and looking forward to it. Okay. Next thing on the list. Let's talk about, I don't know, let's talk about like some plants. Let's talk about planting. Let's talk about plants, baby. Let's talk about you and me. It is gonna be it's supposed to be storming so bad this weekend. I was gonna put my outdoor shelf back outside because right now it's inside. Look, hold on. Let me preface this. I'm so lucky, y'all. This house that we're living in right now has a sunroom. I have almost a whole wall of just windows. It's two separate sliding doors to go to the outside. And then above that, where it should be a second floor, it just goes all the way up and it's all just windows on that second floor part. It's awesome. It's great. That's also where I have my office area at for work. So it's revitalizing. Um, but I have my outside shelf inside because it's the only shelf that I have for my plants. But I was going to put them out like a day or two ago, and then the weather's been like, oh no, horrible storm coming this weekend. Watch out. And I'm like, oh, well, I have some succulents and cacti that cannot go outside during a storm that's going to last like 2 days. That is too much water that would kill them. Also, I am so confused. I don't understand why, but okay. I have had this aloe plant for years, okay? An aloe plant is a kind of cactus. It is a kind of succulent, okay? I've had this aloe plant for years. I think I had this aloe plant when I was in college, which means I've had possibly even before college. Oh gosh. No, no, no. I definitely got this plant like at least in college. I didn't have it in my room at home. But I had this aloe plant. Had it for, let's see. Next year's my 10-year reunion out of high school. So at least like 9, 8 years. Okay. Had this aloe plant for at least 8 years. And I see aloe plants thriving outside all the damn time. Okay. They are just out there being big, being bold. And I'm like, that's awesome. So I put my aloe plant outside, and I've tried this a couple different times. I have put my aloe plant outside and it gets sunburnt and it almost dies every single time. And I'm just like, what is going on? Why? Why are you being so, like, you're being bold right now, being an aloe plant getting sunburnt because aloe's supposed to help sunburns. Therefore, you're not supposed to get sunburnt. And you're like, Kristana, how does the plant get sunburnt? Y'all, let me freaking tell you, okay? This plant, I will stick it outside. And I did it like when we moved to this new house. I did it 3 days. He was outside. 3 days. He he wasn't green. He was like purple and totally like wilting. He's like, I need water. But then if you feed him water, he's like, oh my God, you're like totally drowning me. He, I, yes, my, my aloe plant is a he. His name is Folger. Um, because when I first got him, I put him in a Folgers container, and he's been there ever since, which is one of my first steps. I need to get him into a bigger pot, which I have the bigger pot. I just need to like get up and do it. But I have Folger, and he's just doing great in his Folger container. He's doing fine. But like if I actually try to treat him like a born bred natural growing aloe, he's, oh no, the outside. I can't do it. You can't put me out here. I don't know how to live out here. I'm not a wild aloe. I'm a domesticated aloe. Like, bro, really? Okay. So he can't go outside in direct light. He can be inside in direct light. Oh my gosh, he does great behind the glass. But you put him outside to get some nice natural light and fresh air, and he goes, oh, no, not for me. He's a city plant, not a country plant. Oh, what a drama queen. I'm telling you. So I have him. He can't go outside. Which then makes me scared for the 2 little aloe that I got from my parents over Thanksgiving break. Like, I don't want to put them outside because I know they've not lived outside. Like, normally, I know they sat on the table in my parents' dining room. So, there's 2 more plants that can't go outside. And then I got 2 little succulents from Aldi one time. And I'm like, bro, I'm not even taking a chance with these ones. Also, they're so teeny tiny. They fit in the side, like they could fit in my palm easily. I'm like, well, I'm not taking a chance and putting these guys outside. I mean, they lived in a grocery store for so long. So they're not going outside. I have, let's see. I have two mystery flowers. At Thanksgiving, my mom gave them to me, and they looked like two dead flowers in pots of dirt. And I said, Mom, why did you give me two dead plants? And she said, they're not dead. Look. And at the very, very base, there was just a little bit of green. She's like, look, they're obviously still alive. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Yeah, you're right. They are obviously still alive. Barely. She goes, just take them home. And I'm like, okay, all right, okay. So I asked her, I'm like, well, do you know what they are? She has no clue, but they were great. And I'm like, all right, great. So mystery plants, got it. Mystery flowers. So they could go outside. Um, and then I have a mystery bush. I think it's supposed to be a bush. It was a single um leafling when I obtained it from my mother. Um, and I don't even know if she remembers what it was, but it was something. And I've almost killed it twice, but it is still alive and it is still growing. It was a single little sproutling. That's the word I wanted to use and couldn't find. It was a single sproutling and almost killed that twice. But since I moved, it's been great. And he sprouted off a little vine buddy from his side that I've kind of just been growing in a circle around the plant. Like, because maybe you don't know and you're about to learn, but plants grow towards the light. So throughout the day, they are leaning or facing east when the sun rises. And then they'll kind of move and shift. Like sunflowers will be facing the east in the morning, and then they'll be facing the west at sunset because the sun head, oh my God, the sunflower head looks at the sun as the sun moves. Okay? So that's the same with like regular leafy fauna and flora is the plant leans towards the sun as it moves throughout the day. So, this vine, I have been able to like rotate it throughout the day because it's inside facing a window. And that little vine will grow towards the sun. And I've been able to kind of start like growing it in a circle around the actual center of the plant. And I don't know what plant it is. Um, I have no clue what plant it is. But we'll find out eventually. Um, I really think it is just kind of, it might be a flower. I don't know. I'll have to ask my mom. Uh, oh yeah, I'll ask my mom when she comes in for the week at the end of the month. See if she remembers what it was. 'Cause she gave it to me, I think, last summer. Yeah, no, yeah. It was last summer because we met in Missouri. So I have those. Okay, so I have Folger on the bottom. Oh, I have these random succulents. I have no clue. I don't really know the different names of the succulents. I just know they're succulents, but my best friend was like, "Here, um, I want my pot back, but if you want the plants, you can take those and repot them in whatever you have." And I have this cow planter. It's like the size of a homemade loaf of bread. Is this cow planter. It's made out of regular like clay, like a clay pot. And I have these succulents from my best friend who said, here, they're dying, so if you can revive them, cool. If not, it's fine, but I want my pot back. And I don't blame her. It's a pumpkin pot. If she didn't say I want my pot back, I would have just kept it because I love pumpkins, spooky. But I'm gonna put these succulents in the cow pot, and I'm so excited. And then I was able to every time I try to find words for things, the words just escape my brain. I can't. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of these words? Goodness gracious. But I took some of the leaves off of one of her other plants, off of some of her other succulents that she had at her house, and I've been able to get them to root. So I'll be able to put them in some dirt eventually, but I need to find them a pot. I'm about to repot some plants. I'll put them in those pots. Duh, that's what I was doing. I'll have to do that this weekend. I'll have to do that this weekend because if I don't, then I'm never going to get it done and it's starting to become kind of late. So I need to get that done this weekend. I need to put on the sticky note. I'm going to forget about this later. So maybe I'll just listen to my own podcast later and then I'll remind myself, hey, future Kristana, don't forget to plant and replant the plants that you need to do that. You need to do that this weekend. So do it. Anyway. I have plants everywhere. Oh, and then I have a spider plant. Don't be alarmed. If you've never heard or seen a spider plant, don't be alarmed, okay? It's not anything as creepy as a spider. I think spider plants are also actually some of the cutest plants out there. So, a spider plant, the best way I can describe what it looks like is if you take this little stringy bush. It starts as like a little kind of bush, and it's got long, thin leaves that kind of bow up and come back down. And that's what's like kind of meant to look like a spider. If you think of like a black widow without as big of a body. How it's a very small body and has very or like a daddy long legs. There we go. That's a better example. Think of like a daddy long legs if you don't have arachnophobia. If you have arachnophobia, you maybe might want to like skip through this part actually. Sorry, my bad. But if you think of like a daddy long leg, he's got a little teeny tiny little body and very long thin legs. And that's kind of what the spider plant looks like, but like with a lot of like long thin leaves. And then what it does is it spits out vines from it. Usually not too many I have seen. Um, but on these vines at like throughout the vine, it will spit off baby spiders. So it'll spit off little mini versions of the big thing. And they're just the cutest little thing. And then that's how you make more is you break off the baby spider and you put it in a cup of water and you just keep the water filled until it gets big enough. I mean, and honestly, I've never put my spider plants in dirt. Spider plants do really well in just like a bowl of water. As long as you keep the water full in the bowl, then they'll be fine. They can live in just water. My grandma, oh my gosh, bless her heart. My grandma, my dad's mom, she was phenomenal. She could grow anything, okay? She's the whole reason why I love having plants, and the spider plant is such it, it's a very like personal plant to me. It's a very special personal plant to me because of my grandma. My grandma had a spider plant. Um, actually, I think it's the same. I think it is. I could be wrong. Okay, hold on. My grandma had a spider plant that when she lived in Texas, they had a ginormous walk-in bathroom. Like it was this whole huge separate room because they each had their own walk-in closet. Then they had a water closet. Then they each had their own vanity. They had a giant walk-in shower and they had a huge jacuzzi bathtub all in their bathroom. So this is like a whole extra like this room is bigger than their walk-in master bathroom is like two dorm rooms put together. Maybe even three because I know dorm rooms just keep getting smaller these days, okay? It was ginormous, okay? And my grandma had a spider plant on the top, either it was hanging or it was like on top of like the tile that the shower tile went most of the way up to the ceiling, but not all the way up to the ceiling. I think she might have had it sitting on that possibly. I could be wrong. But either way, she had a spider plant in the corner of her bathroom, and she had two vines that had sprouted out of it. and wrapped around her bathroom like 2 or 3 different times. She had had this spider plant for so long. It was crazy. And so now the spider plant that my parents have is either the same spider plant or it's one of the spider babies that has grown up. To which then the spider plant that I have was a spider baby from my parents' plant. So it's either a child of my grandma's spider plant or it's a grandchild of my grandma's spider plant. So it's a very special and significant thing to me. It's a way how even though my grandma is passed, I keep her spirit and her memory alive for me. Um it's in that spider plant in my grandma's bathroom is just so significant. I mean, like you could pull up a chair next to my mom, my dad, my sister. You could say, "Hey, so tell me about that spider plant in your grandma's bathroom." And they would all know exactly what you're talking about because it's so significant. Um, gosh. Oh, and I'm trying to grow an avocado. I have an avocado pit. I need to do a little bit more research now on it because it's not splitting. I have almost successfully grown an avocado tree before, but then there was like this really big storm that came through and it knocked it over, and then I didn't get out there for a couple days. And actually, I think it was one of the hurricanes in the past few years. Because I used to live in the deep south. I used to live down in Mobile, and we've had some hurricanes come through that area in the past 6 years. So, but I don't know, this one, I don't remember it taking this long to split. And maybe time my timeline, my time guide is off in my head. Maybe like it's actually not as long as I think it's been that I've been trying to grow this avocado pit. I could be wrong. I have no sense of time anymore. That's why I haven't. That's why it is the Friday before St. Patrick's Day, and I haven't sent anything out for St. Patrick's Day. So now everything for St. Patrick's Day that I send out to friends and family, it's gonna be really late. Just like how Valentine's Day was. Ugh. I have the list and I see the list, and then I'm like, yeah, but I have to do this and this and this first. And then by the time it's like, okay, time to do the list, it's like, oh, yeah, but really it's bedtime. Or the horrible thing. Oh, it's actually doom scroll on your phone time. That is one thing I am trying so hard to cut out is the doom scrolling. But like for me, my Facebook is like my main social media that for personal stuff. Like I don't really use Instagram for personal things. Like I tried to. Like you can go back on my Instagram. My Instagram is average ghost mom. It's it was my personal Instagram before. So you can go back and you can see like my personal posts and stuff, but like you can look at the time. You can look at the dates and you can tell, oh yeah, no, I really didn't use Instagram for personal stuff. Twitter, which I think is now X. I don't even like I tried really hard to get on Twitter and to be on Twitter and ooh, it's Twitter because it was either Twitter, it's always Twitter versus Facebook. And some of my friends growing up didn't have Facebook because, "Oh, well, I have Twitter. Just get on Twitter." And I'm like, no, because to me, Twitter's freaking stupid. Like, if you, I only want to see things on my feed that my friends post. I don't want to see promoted things. I don't want to see, oh, a friend of someone you follow liked this thing, so now we're going to show it to you because maybe you like it. No, I don't want that. Like, if my friends make a tweet or share something, that's all that I want to see. And that's not what Twitter was doing for me. So I already didn't like it. And then there was like the character limit, and I was not a fan of Twitter. So I don't have there's accounts out there, but they're not active. I don't have Twitter on my phone. And then like Snapchat, I don't really use Snapchat. I have like a couple streaks on Snapchat, but it's personal things, so I don't really have Snapchat. I literally part of the morning routine with Ava is like when we get to her school, and we're sitting in line, I unbuckle her and then we take a selfie together. And that's what goes out to like the 3 or 4 people I have on Snapchat that I actually like consistently talk with. And that's Facebook. Facebook is my main personal, social media because like all of my family members have Facebook. So that's kind of like where I go there to keep my family members up to date with me and my child. That just kind of makes sense. Especially since I'm so bad at like actually talking to people, it's easier with Facebook because then I can just post stuff there. And if you really care about me, you'll go out of your way. Like if it doesn't just naturally show up on your feed, you can at least go look and see what I've been up to lately. You know, if I've not really been active on Facebook, then I've not really been active in life. And if I have new pictures, then hey, look, I've done something recently. So, is there even any other kind of social media? I mean, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I mean, TikTok, but I have TikTok. You can find me at Average Ghost Mom. I have TikTok. I like to post cooking things, spiritual things. Um, I have everything kind of like cross posted. So like if you if you see it on TikTok, you'll see like a shorter picture version on Instagram and like I'll post like when I post when I what's the word? It's not post. It's not post. Well, gosh dang it. I can't think of the word again. That's just the story of my life. When I put up a new episode of the podcast, I'll be sure to update Instagram and TikTok. But like Ava likes to do kind of like mini vlogs, so I let her do that because she loves to talk. Y'all, if y'all had cameras up around my house, this week has been spring break, so she's been home all day with me. If there were cameras around my house, you could literally tune in at different points of the day, and she would be saying something about something different all damn day. This child, she loves to talk. She does. She talks a lot. She's got a lot of things going on up in her brain, and she's got a lot of thoughts going on, and she has to verbally process everything. She Even when she's doing things like with herself, by herself, things that doesn't oh okay, she loves to draw. She loves to do art. She loves to draw, she loves to paint. She'll be talking to herself about what she's doing as she's drawing. Things like, oh, all right, now we're gonna start going up here. And oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna find a different color and we're gonna do a different color for this part. And now I'm drawing the head and I'm gonna draw the eyes. And it's like, Ava, I love you. Her desk is right next to mine. Ava, I love you. I do. Can you stop narrating your life all the time? Because that's kind of what she does. Is she just constantly narrates her life. Whatever she's doing, she has to verbally say out loud and let you know what she's doing. And like, bless it. I love her. She needs to stop talking, please. Because I don't audibly process everything all the time like she does. And you know what's really crazy? Is I just saw a video about this on Facebook the other day about how people do audibly process things and others don't. Now, it was in the format of adults and processing problems or ideas. Um, and how, like, the girl was like, oh, I love to, whenever I have, like, a plan or an idea, I want to talk to you about it and like just as things come to mind, just spit it out. And then that's how I find the best solution is to go through all of the ways, all of the solutions in my head out loud. and then together we come up with a good one. And then the guy was like, okay, well, that's not how I do this. Like, I sit and I think in my head to myself quietly about the problem, about the different ways we can solve the problem, and then once I think I have found a good problem, I will come to you and tell you the one idea because I have thought about all the different avenues from all these different things. And so rather than spitting all of these things out and most of them not being good or the way or the the actual way we solve the problem, I just come to you with the one kind of final solution. He's like, because it's very energy draining to me to have to sit and listen to you go through all of these solutions. And if you tell me like 10 solutions, only one of them is going to be the way. So you've given me 9 that aren't. It's just like a waste of time, waste of my energy to have to sit here and then like process everything that you're saying. And that's what Ava does. She processes her thoughts, ideas, her day, her actions as a 5-year old audibly. And for me, it is so exhausting on top of like working. Okay. It's not solely only her just talking the whole dang day. It's also like sitting here and mentally having to read and process emails and read and process patient information and read and process my workflow. And then on top of it, she is just like a radio that's always going. And I don't always need a radio that's always going. Because then sometimes in the middle of her going, she'll be like, right, mom? Or like, Mom, did you hear me? Or she'll be like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, Mom? And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I wasn't paying attention to you because I'm trying to work and do my own thing and you know, I can't listen to every single thing you have to do or say. So I need you to, like, ugh, gosh. And she's only 5. She's only 5. And some days are tougher than others, but I have to be understanding with her. And we have to talk about things. You know, I have to talk to her like she knows what's going on because if I talk to her like she doesn't know what's going on, she gets very frustrated because she kind of actually does know what's going on for a 5-year old. Um, she kind of gets the gist of what's going on around here. So I have to give her the benefit of the doubt and talk to her like she knows what's going on, because then that's how I better communicate with her. And then if we come across something that she doesn't actually know, then I can explain it to her, you know? So, holy bejeebies. I tell you what, we're getting up there in time. So, we talked about crystals of the month. We talked about St. Patrick's Day. Again, send in those things. My email is averageghostmom@gmail.com. If it's a story, start it with listener. If it's anything else, you can put it, I don't know. I don't have a good idea right now for subject line headings. If anybody else does, though, send it in as an email, you know. We talked about moon phases, talked about plants, talked about some things coming up in my life, and we talked about Ava, of course. So, with that, I will let you guys go. Y'all have a fantastic week. Can't wait for everyone to come back. Um, Next week I'm gonna post this on Sunday, so that I'm gonna try and post on Sundays. Okay, so that's the plan. That's the plan. Again, it's written in chalk, so we'll see. But thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to y'all later.